Bhagavad Gita, chapter 12, 20 verses. Arjuna uvacha evam satata yukta ye bhaktas devam paryupasate ye chape aksharam avyaktam tasham ke yoga vitama. Arjuna said, thus, always engage are those devotees of you who properly worship, those who also, again, are beyond the senses, the unmanifest of them, who are the most perfect in the knowledge of and Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Maya Avasya Mano Yemam Nitya Yukta Upasate Sradhyaya Sradhaya Parayupetas Teme Yuktatamamata. The Supreme Personality of God said to me, fixing the mind are those who are always engaged with worship and faith, transcendentally endowed. They, by me, are most perfect in yoking, and this is how they should be considered. Text 3 and 4. Yata vaksharam manirdasyam avyaktam paryupasate sarvatragam achintyam cha kutasatam achalam dhruvam sandhyam yandreya gramam sarvatra samma buddhaya ne te prapnuvande mameva sarva bhuta hete rata. Those who are but upon what is beyond the perception of the senses, indefinitely, unmanifested, completely engaged in worshiping the all-pervading, inconceivable also, the unchanging, the immovable, the fixed, the controlling of all the senses, everywhere equally disposed. They achieve me, certainly, for the welfare of all living entities that are engaged. And that's an important thing that you usually see spoken of in Buddhism only, is the worship for the sake of others. Now, Islam speaks about that too, but, Buddhism, it's more of a stereotype, the Tom Glenn and all that. Klaso adhikataras tesham avyakta sakta chetasam avyakta hegatir duhkam dehavadir avapyate. Very much troubled of them to be unmanifested, attached, of those whose minds are towards the unmanifested. Certainly, progress, when troubled, in embodiment, is achieved. So, the difficulty, the struggle you go through, the jihad, as long as you stay in the cause, you're achieving something, even though the world may not see you achieving something. Text 6 and 7. Yetu sarvane karmane mahe sanyasya mat para ananyana eva yogena mam vyayanta upasate teshamaham sambuddharta mrityu samsara sagarat bhavamena chirat partha maya avaseta chitasam. Those who with the exception of all their activities being unto me, giving them up, being attached to me without division, certainly by the practice of connecting the devotional mysticism to me, meditating with worship of them I am, the deliverer of death in the material existence. From the ocean I become, not after a long time, Osanapartha upon me is fixed of those minds. The Varaha Purana says, Nayame paramam stanam marchir aregatam vinna garuda skandam marupya yatat chamane vareta. You don't need to practice in order to transfer your soul to the different planets. Responsibility is for God Himself. The Narayaniya says, Yavae sadhana sampate purushartha chatushtaya taya vinnatarapnote naro narayanastraya. You shouldn't engage in mere physical results or mental development. When you're devoted to the Supreme, you can attain that which comes from all the various other practices. The mysticism, the speculation, ceremonies, sacrifices, charities, and so on. One chant that we can say is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari, Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari. Text 8. Maya Eva Mana Avatsva Maya Buddhem Nivasaya Nivasishyase Maya Eva Ata Urdvam Samsaya. Upon me, certainly the mind is fixed upon me, the intelligence. To apply this, you'll live in me, certainly. Thereafter, never have any doubt. Now, we've seen in other scriptures how they talk about being in God. It's that sort of thing, right? It's not that God's omnipresence is going to be according to your whatever, but, it's the living in that consciousness that, you die in God, you live in God, etc., etc. Avachetam samadhatum nasaknoshe mayes theram abhyasa yogana tato mamichaptum vanvanjaya. If therefore the mind is fixed, and you're not able to upon me steadily by the practice of devotional service, then by me desire to get a winner of wealth, And text 10. Abhyase peya samartho se mat karma paramo bhava madartham ape karmane kurvan siddhim avapsyase. In the practice, even if you're unable to do the work, if you're unable to do these practices, dedicate your work for my sake. Even performing that work with perfection, you'll achieve it. Text 11. Athaye tadape asakto se kartum madhyogam asrita sarva karma phala tyagam tata kuruyatatmavan. Even though you're unable for this to perform it in the devotional service, you take refuge with all the activities and the results with the renunciation, then will you be self-situated. Sreyo hijnanam mamyasanj jnanadhyanam viseshyate dhyanat karma phala thyagas thyagach chantir anantaram. It's better, certainly, to have knowledge and then put it into practice. That knowledge, meditating, is better than meditation. That's the renunciation of the worldly action. By such renunciation, peace comes therefore after. And we have the text 13 and 14. Adveshta sarva bhutanam maitra karuna evacha nirmamo nivrahankara samadukha sukha kshami santushta satatam yogi yatatma Nischaya maya arpeta mano buddhir yomad bhakta same preya. Being non-envious towards all living entities and friendly and kindly, certainly also with no sense of ownership, without false ego, equal in distress and happiness, forgiving and satisfied, always is the one engaged in the connection, self-controlled, with determination upon me, engaged with the mind and intelligence, one who is my devotee. He to me is dear. The Srimad Bhagavatam 10.14.8 has Tate Nukampam Susamikshamano Vunjana Evatma Kritam Vipakam. Whenever a devotee is distressed or fallen, he thinks that due to my deeds, I'll do even worse. So it's by the mercy that I'm not getting all the punishment that I deserve. Text 15. Yasman nudvijate loko lokan nudvijate chaya harsham marsha bayodvengayir mukto yasacha me preya. From whom is never agitated the people, from the people never is disturbed. Also anyone from happiness and distress, from fear and anxiety is freed. Anyone who also unto me is very dear. Anapeksha Suchirdaksha Udasino Gatavyatha Sarvaramba Parityagi Yuman Bhakta Same Priya. In neutrality is the pure expert free from care, free from all distress, from endeavors, renouncing is anyone who's my devotee, and to me, they're very dear. Yuna harshyate na deveshte na sochate na kanchate subha subha Parityagi Bhaktimam Ya Same Priya, the one who never takes pleasure, never grieves, never laments, never desires. Subha is auspicious. Asubha is inauspicious. The renouncer, he's the devotee, who's to me very dear. And text 18 and 19. Sammah satrau cha mitre cha tata manna pammannayo sitoshna sukha duhkashu samma sangha vivarjita tulya ninda stutir mauni santushto yena kenachit aneketa stera matir bhaktimam me preyo nara. Equal as an enemy, and also as a friend, also in honor and dishonor, and cold and heat and happiness and distress, is equiposed and free from all association, equal in defamation and repute, silent and satisfied with anything, having no residence, fixed in determination, and engaged in devotion to me, is such a dear person. Yatu dharmam vritam edam yathoktam paryupasate sraddadanamat parama bhaktaste attiva me preya. Those of religion have this nectar, and this is, as it said, completely the engagement with faith, taking me as supreme over everything. You know, the Allahu Akbar phrase. They're devotees that are very, very dear to me. And throughout chapter 12, we have this focus on divinity and the religion of being eternally happy.